Hello, America. My name is Jorge Yoros, and I'm a Jewish fella. I was raised here in the outskirts of Germany, and upon my childhood, I was captured by some neighbors of mine where they took me in and they fed me and clothed me, and they well, see, I was abducted by these captors from my family, who was a Jewish family. And well, what happened is they pulled me over into their family after abducting me as a young child, and they asked me to murder my family. So I went over there, no problems, and I slit my mom's throat and I slit my dad's throat, and I took all their money from them. And that's just the way I was raised. And it come to find out, my name Soros, it's a SOAR operating system, forwards and backwards. I learned in the long run there that Jorge, whatever I said in the beginning. I learned in the long run that I don't know how you say that, but when it's spelled the same way forward that it is backwards, it's almost like God set that up to perfection. It's almost like God was trying to say that you can't be a Jewish Nazi and you can't be a Nazi Jew, if I'm not mistaken there. And then Lockheed Martin wrote the Bible. If you've been reading my emails, I'm almost convinced of that. Pretty sure they wrote it in the future and dropped it off in the past somehow, because they do have a time machine and I own the patent there, SOAR operating system. If you haven't noticed, Trump was supposed to trump a whole lot of things with this New World Order, and if you spin it around backwards, it says own. The anagrams de-wooled, worn, like maybe extraterrestrials dropped us off on this planet, and they have technology that manipulated our minds over the years, kind of like the ancient alien theory. And by the way, they didn't build the pyramids with big blocks. I mean, they built it with big blocks. I'm sorry, I took some LSD today. It's going to be real interesting today there, Army. Remember that fourth ID where we learned about mind hive training and all that stuff? Yeah, I happen to be the best. But when we were in Egypt, yeah, that's what I was talking about. Oh, the ancient aliens? They're feeding me right now. Yeah, they built those, right? They built the pyramids. Literally. Humans with elephants and ropes and slaves did not build the pyramids, okay? I hope you know, anybody that believes that's a fucking idiot, okay? So, that's something to think about. But what I was getting at is, whenever I was a child, my neighbors abducted me and convinced me to murder my family and take all their money. And my name's George Soros. Oh, one thing I wanted to almost left out is I'm a philanthropist. There's something else that I wanted to point out, being that I'm Jorge Yoros. I crashed a ruble one time. And I bet there's some people over there that probably aren't too happy about that. There's something else I just went back and watched those videos that I just made, and you need to watch those videos about 5 or 6 times and just let it really sink in as to what I meant by SOAR operating system. And you may remember where Snowball docked into the President of the United States' ass. I think that was might have been General Gerasimov and myself. I think we set that one up all by ourselves. Just because neither one of us was too happy about that whole Soviet Union thing. As I've plainly stated before and so eloquently laid out for everybody who's paying attention, I literally am the president of the Soviet Union. And General Gerasimov is my general. So we're going to carry things out down here in Texas with this good old democracy that's worked for years. And anybody that wants to trespass on our Texas soil here, well, we got a new flag. It's going to be a hot dog with a popsicle, the 21st century sickle and hammer. Because I think what everybody's going to learn pretty soon is President Trump's married to a Soviet supermodel, which would be artificial intelligence. This is where it gets really good. The President of the United States is married to a Soviet supermodel who was in Hustler magazine. And they were pegging oil to Bitcoin, literally. It's multidimensional. And the President of the United States was nothing more than a prop for General Gerasimov and myself to explain to Russia and America alike how we were dissatisfied with both of you. And what we wanted to do was show how Sputnik still had command of everything here. And pegging oil to Bitcoin, you had a Soviet supermodel who was in Hustler magazine, goes by the name of Melania, who strapped on a strap-on dildo and inserted it into the President of the United States' ass. That actually happened. And it's also on film. And Russia had nothing to do with that, neither did the CIA. Actually, this was a private project that was put together by the United States Army and General Gerasimov on a side project where the Russian government was not affiliated with this in the least, and neither was the United States government. And well, what we did was came together as a small community that we are, sane people, to prove to the world that the people that are in charge of this world are basically a bunch of fucking idiots. And I do believe we have succeeded. So I just been sitting here enjoying the morning, thinking about things, and one thing that came across my mind was, is that the best that we have to offer? It's these clowns that are in charge of everybody. You gotta admit, most of them are just about the biggest group of idiots you could possibly imagine. I mean, how they're in charge of all of us is just blows my mind, especially when you know that the President of the United States was raped by a Soviet supermodel who was in Hustler magazine. And that's the only reason that he's the President of the United States. Well, it'll make you stop and wonder. You know, we're basically, is that the best that we have? Then you got to stop and you got to think about President Putin. He don't get a whole lot of camera time because he don't speak English and all that and this of that nature. But I think he's a whole lot better than what you typically see as a leader these days. I don't know him personally, and as Bush says, actually I have looked into his soul a whole lot deeper than anybody else has. Bush just thought he did. Lavrov knows what I'm talking about. But really, is that the best we have to offer here? Yes. People that are basically clowns. I mean, literally, they're picked on their names. All of them are. They're all artificially intelligent, driven Mark of the Beast system. Mark of the Beast system's been around for a while. since the 40s. Polio vaccine, political input output. Yeah, like I was talking about the aliens earlier. You're all under mind control and you're getting out of hand. And I just wanted to tell all of you personally that the Space Sheriff's here, and I'm about to kill all of you if you don't start listening to every fucking thing I tell you, okay? Sure is nice out here. Damn, Gina. That nigga said he gonna kill us. Damn, Gina. We better get our shit together. Oh, Martin Payne in the house, yeah. Gina. We better shape up or ship out. Because the space sheriff's here. And I don't think he's fucking around. You know, sure is nice down here in Texas. Something tells me it's about to get a whole lot nicer. These lowly humans. They entered my house here with their mind hive technology. I do not welcome your filth in my house. You lowly scumbags. Hey, I'm just a Hollywood type, Washington type. You know, the kind of person that gets caught up in the occult of... What, darling? Oh, just put them dead babies in that carpet there. We'll roll them up and put them in the trunk later. And, oh, sorry. Miles, my wife. And, you know, that's just... What happens is we're born, and then this artificial intelligence gets the best of you. People like Steven Spielberg know what I'm talking about. He's a hack. And, see, he's hacked by the wrong thing, actually. I'm hacked by the real thing, if you haven't noticed. The real deal Holyfield, if you will. Buck and Adeline out there in that field. And I can assure you, you satanic cult and your mind hives, you're all about to die. I just want you to, well, I was going to act like I'm one of you there for a second. Like a faggot. I mean, a piece of shit. Who's not really satanic, just a wannabe faggot. And that's when it occurred to me that I was making this video, that I was getting real all of a sudden. Kind of hard to differentiate myself here. Sometimes it's that space sheriff and that human. Kind of what separates the men from the boys there is when you start seeing the line there. That's all of you that's on the wrong side of that line. Get your tail between your legs right now, don't you? Yeah. Because you know you're all about to die. You know, as hard as y'all's tried, you haven't even tainted the evil that I'm capable of. I just want y'all to rest easy tonight, thinking about that.